ready? It's the Roundtable with me, Robert Bannon. Woohoo! Hey everybody, happy Thursday. Nice to see you all here. My name is Robert Bannon and welcome to the Roundtable for this special Thursday night. We're here live every single Thursday and we have a really fun show for you all tonight. I'm really excited. I was so tired today. You know, it's a long week in the fifth grade teacher world. So it's so nice to be able to spend some time with you. I'm definitely looking forward to being here with you today. Hey, Abby. Hi, everybody. Hey, Roundtablers. Thank you to my loyal friends who watch every single week and are here every single Thursday, no matter who is on this show. You make this show so possible. How's everyone feeling? It's really fall here in Jersey. It's cold. It's raining. I'm tired, but we're here. We're alive, and things could be a lot worse. So sending love your way. Thanks for being here. Hey, everybody. Well, today we have a really good show. It's going to be a show that I think you're going to really like, and I know you're going to like. We have Alaska. Alaska is here, the winner of Drag Race All-Stars Season 2. She's a brand new show called Drag the Musical, and we have her co-writers, and we have the director here as well. They are Emmy nominated, they're Grammy nominated, they have #1 hits, they've done it all, and they're here, and they're really fun. And then in drag from head to tippy toes, Jackie Beat, Dr. Jackie is now on Al TV, and we're here for a double drag extravaganza. I should have done drag. I've never done drag, but I would like it. I think it'd be funny and fun. And it's an art form, though. I don't want to mess around with it. It's not easy at all. Yes, Janelle. Yes. Look at my new mug. This week's mug is from my mom. My mom went to Martha's Vineyard. Straight vodka. And she went to Martha's Vineyard and she brought me back this mug from her trip. So, hey, Mom. How y'all doing out there today? So, should we get started? I say let's just do the damn thing. Are you ready? Here is my week in review. So this week we had a good time. Robert, it's time. You're near New York. This is your time. This is my time. My birthday is coming soon, you know. I'm turning 39. I will have many more birthdays, but this will be the last one that changes the number. This is the last one. My week in review. That's a joke. My week in review is that for this week, firstly, we had really interesting roundtable talks. We've had multiple roundtable talks, but talk about one that caused controversy. Amanda Seals was here. Amanda Seals was here with her Blackout Sliding In tour. Listen, if you're a conservative personality, this was not the show for you, and that's okay. Not everything is for everybody, but Amanda Seals was here. Make sure you watch that. Piss some of you off. Maybe people were angry. I like her a lot. So thank you to Amanda Seals. I went last Friday to Blaze Pumpkins up in Tarrytown, Sleepy Hollow, where they are famous for their sure was controversial as it can be. Blaze Pumpkin. So I brought the babies. We had cotton candy, of course, first, just to really sugar you up. And then you walk around and there are thousands of pumpkins that decorate this whole entire outdoor manor. It's a gold mine because people must make $1 trillion. They carve a lot of the pumpkins and then there's plastic ones, but they're really works of art, and we've gone every single year. And it's really fun and wonderful. They do one in Long Island, and they do one in they didn't give me free tickets, so I'm not promoting them for nothing. It's a wonderful activity, and we had a lot of fun. And then also on Sunday, I went and saw a comedian at the Prudential Center in Newark, Gabriel Iglesias. Fluffy was in Newark, and Adrian and John invited me to go. So it was Adrian, John, and John's brother, Jimmy. And we went to the show in Newark, and I had never seen any of his specials before. He was funny. He's so sweet. What a sweet, fun person. What a wonderful person. His show was really great, and it really made me laugh. He's really, really funny. So if you see Gabriel Iglesias in your neck of the woods, make sure you watch his specials on Netflix. And yeah, me and little Sam, he jumped on StreamYard with me the other day because he wanted to know what it was like at the Robert Bannon show. And I guess, Joan Rivers used to be Johnny's guest co-host, guest host. So if I'm ever out sick, I know who to call. Sam, you're hired. You're in. He's he's ready to, he's taking my job. So it was a quiet week. It was a full week of work. It was a lot of state testing this week. So when you have state testing as a 5th grade teacher, you don't get your prep. We have teachers out. We don't have subs, which means they're split classes, which means they give me extra kids. And it was just a long week. So we've made it to Friday, and I am so looking forward to the weekend. Thank you, God, for the weekend. Are you ready for the shameless plug? Oh, because I had us all in a tizzy in the Instagram pre-show about my shameless plug. Here it is. Because I'm shameless. So what I was saying is, sadly, for some sad reason, I've been watching all these notices going on social media about people's shows getting canceled because people are not buying tickets to go see people's concert events in New York City at iconic venues, 54 Below, Birdland, Green Room 42. And I have a show coming up in Green Room 42, and I've made this declaration. I will continue to promote it. I will continue to shamelessly plug it. I will continue to talk about it. I will continue to ask you to come see the show because I'm so proud of it. And no matter if there's 5 people or 500 people, I'm doing the show. I don't care. I'm doing the show. It's called Rewind. It will be at Green Room 42, October 22nd. If you want to come and join me, we're making a live album. Go to robertbannon.com. I'm doing it. I don't care. I told the story that I did a show for 6 people in New Jersey. I did a show the other day outside of a church for 12 people in the rain. I will never forget what it's like to sing for 6 people. And if you don't buy tickets on October 22nd, it will look like I'm singing for 6 more people. No. Buy your tickets and come see me. The show is crazy. It's with heart and love and fun. And we have a special guest that we're going to be announcing soon and some new moments in the show. So I really hope you could come celebrate. It's my birthday on the 31st. So just come early and come hang out with me and party and have a good time. And if you're an LA person, how about that lineup of a show? Jane Monheit, Grammy-nominated superstar, Matt Gould, who wrote Lempicka and wrote Witness Uganda and is a superstar, and Dominique Patton, who just has come from Wicked on Broadway. They're all joining me at Feinstein's. So no matter where you live or what you're doing, just come hang out with me. If for some reason you can't get a ticket, we could figure something out. You could just hide, Christine and Janelle, and they'll put on a big long coat and they'll all stack up and we'll usher and sneak you in. If there's a will, there's a way. I'm from Jersey. We can always sneak someone in somewhere. The show will go on. Not canceling it. I don't care. Not canceling it. We'll just get the wait staff to sit. As long as you just clap loud. So thank you so much. I'm really looking forward to it. And the Broadway Cast Reunions, the Broadway Lecture Series is also has been flushed out. There's been a date. There's been a contract. We're really doing it. And I will share more with you the second I get a signed copy back. But it's been signed. It's in the mail. And it's coming. It's coming. It's coming. While I'm talking to you about upcoming shows, the incredible Lauren Smith is doing his first New York ever live solo show. If you've ever seen Lauren before, you've had to see him in New York at Madison Square Garden. And if you saw him at Madison Square Garden, he was singing with Michael Bublé. Man stole my job. Not Lauren, Michael. Well, he's going to bring his show to Chelsea stage, bar, table, barn, carport. And it's going to be amazing. I've seen his love shows in LA. They've sold out. He sung with everyone from Heather Headley to Andy Grammer to Michael Bublé with BTS. His music has been on Love Victor and the Get Out soundtrack, and he is a singer. He will sing his teeth out right in the middle of New York City for you. So make sure you go and check out those tickets as well. I think that's it. I think we got it all in there. I'm not giving up. I want to give up. I want to go in the corner. I want to cry. I want to be a failure. And that's easier. I have nothing to prove. So we're going to do it. That's how I feel about it. That's the truth. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys there. I'm really excited about it. And Should we Hey Friend Hey? Here's Hey Friend Hey.
I'll be there for you. How you doing?
Well, you know, I offended Lunel. All right, I wasn't going to tell this story, but I offended Lunel. Yes, Christine, look at him go. It's a big deal. It's scary to do a show not in your home area. So the other day, Patty Jackson is a gossip columnist in Philadelphia who's on the radio for a million years. She's like the Wendy Williams of Philly. And she was talking about Trevor Noah leaving late night television to go to do whatever he's going to do, be rich. And so when he was talking about that, she said, it's time for a woman. How about Lunel has a late night talk show? And if you see Lunel's stand up, she talks about wanting to be a late night talk show host. But she didn't when you post the video in the story, it's not the whole video. So the only part that was there was Patty Jackson saying, Trevor Noah, Noah, Trevor, Noah, Trevor, Noah, trying to figure out his name. So I clicked the laughing emoji. And Lunel took it that I was laughing at the idea that she would be a late night host. So she wrote me back and said, why do you think it's funny? And I said, oh, I don't think it's funny that you're going to be a host. I think it's funny about what she did with her name. And then Lunel said, I'm just going by the emoji you sent. You were laughing at me. Even though she's a comedian. And I had to apologize. I really love her. She's very sweet to me. She's been a really good person to me. So I want to apologize to you, Lunel. I never meant to hurt your feelings. I would never laugh at you being a late night host. We need some women to do this job. We need them. So, hey, friend. Hey, don't be mad. It's so silly. So silly. So that's my story. I have a recommendation. Would you like that? So I just give it to you all how I feel. I can't help it. My pick of the week. I have a pick of the week this week. I have a pick of the week that I really like, actually. I really love. Okay, so here's the backstory. I went to William Esper. William Esper is an acclaimed, famous acting school in New York City. Barbara Marchant was my teacher. Bill Esper is a very famous acting teacher. It's a Meisner technique, and lots of famous people have gone to the school. Sam Rockwell, the girl, the female comedian that I'm not going to remember, Amy Schumer, and I could go on and on and on. I mean, lists, and Kim Basinger, and lists of people. It's always voted one of the top 10 acting schools in the country. I went and I'm a graduate of the school. Well, the year before me in Barbara's class, there was a student, his name is Rami Youssef, and Rami wrote a show while he was there and sold it to A24, which sold it to Hulu while he was still in acting school. Insane. So the third season of the show is now out. If you haven't seen the first two seasons, it's so brilliant because Rami plays Rami, who is an Arabic Muslim family living in New Jersey, and he's modern and his family isn't, and it's how he's trying to associate and assimilate to the two cultures and how they are together. And it's a show that I highly recommend. It is brilliantly written. It is brilliantly acted in. And I'm so happy and proud of Rami. And Liff, who runs William Esper's office, is the uncle in the show. So if you've never seen Rami, now's the time to catch up. I love, love, love this show. This is the art that I think we could all get behind. It shows you a different culture, a different idea. It's not the same old, and it's on Hulu, and you can binge watch it right now. And they're short. They're 25, 26 minutes. So Rami, congrats. Maybe Rami will be here. So that's my pick of the week, everybody. Next week, our Roundtable Talk, which is the sister show that's just the interview and without me talking to you live, is some of the best of New York theater today, where artists talk about art. David Josephsberg, who's starring in Beetlejuice, will be here to talk about bringing Beetlejuice back and what they're doing for Halloween over at the Marriott Marquis before the show closes in January. And then we're going to be talking to Ryan J. Hadid and Clue, who are in American Televisions, which is over at New York Theater Workshop. Ryan is known, he's been in The Politician on Netflix. He's a writer who has his own shows that are all over New York at the Public and the Bushwick Star and etc. But this show is really fascinating and riveting, and I can't wait to put these two interviews together and show this to you on Tuesday. Next Thursday, we have two icons for sure. Rocky Horror acting legend, Tony Award winner Barry Bostwick from Spin City and from Rocky Horror and from 268 other credits. And I'm in my classroom and I interviewed him the other day and he ate a hot dog. Spoiler alert, you don't want to miss this. Plus Sean Keenan, he's from Karate Kid 3. He's from Cobra Kai. He's a soap legend, and he's an Emmy winner. Sean Keenan, Barry Bostwick, next Thursday, big monster show, 2 Hollywood heavyweights, only here. It's good. Only here at the Roundtable. So mark your calendars to come join me in October. And then the following week, we have L. Morgan Lee, who's a Tony nominee for Strange Loop. And then we're doing my birthday show. For my birthday show this week, I didn't want to bring on someone I love and appreciate or whatever. I do love these people, but I wanted to bring light to HIV awareness because I watched a documentary about HIV awareness, and I'll talk more about it when we get there. But we have big shows coming up through the next months. I'm not even going to tell you who, but they're big. They're going to be good. Yeah. Is that it? I talked about my mother before. If you would like to support the show, you can Venmo me at R Bannon, and the money that you send over will go towards promoting and getting more views, and more views gets us more guests, and more guests mean more guests and views, and me happy and you happy. And it's a guest explosion, as Janelle says, an explosion of everyone. Explode. I'm a tree. I told you I went to acting school. Explosions. Are you exploding? Are you exploding? You know what's the most terrifying thing? When publicists I want to come do this show and they say, we watched an episode of your show. People watch this? Explosions. Go to the virtual tip jar, Venmo me at R Bannon, and support the show. And I appreciate you all so much. All right. So I had the pleasure the other day during my lunch break where I've been doing interviews because now that I'm back in school, if you call me and want an interview and you're only available during the day, I'm not going to turn you down. I'm going to have lunch break with you. So in my 5th grade classroom, I had the pleasure to see Alaska and the creative team behind this show. Oh boy, take a look. Everybody, so the legendary Bourbon Room in Hollywood, California has an amazing show coming up. It's called Drag the Musical, and I can't wait to talk about it. Alaska is here. Alaska has sold out venues across the country, won All-Stars Drag Race, has performed everywhere, and she put together an all-star team. Tomas, Ashley, and Spencer are here together. They have, I don't know, choreographed everything, written dozens and dozens of #1 hit songs, won awards, Emmy Award nomination, the whole shebang. And if you want to see it, there's a couple weekends coming up before Alaska takes over the rest of the country with a brand new tour, with a brand new album. Are you ready? The whole team of Drag the Musical is here. Welcome.
Ooh, hey.
Hi.
What? Look at you all up bright and early in Los Angeles.
I know,
yes,
right?
this is the first interview we've all done together for Drag the Musical. So this is right. It's the first
Yes,
time we've all.
it is.
Well,
Absolutely.
congratulations. You have put together an all-star cast from Joey McIntyre to Nick Adams to Juju Beat to a whole bunch of amazing performers all together. Alaska, how did this idea? I know it's based on an album. I know it's a stage show. What is Drag the Musical? Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Well, I don't know, 6 years ago or something. I know Tomas and Ashley because we've been making drag music together forever because they're the preeminent drag music producers in the world of drag. And Tomas one day was like, "Hey, do you want to do a musical?" And I was like, "Sure, yeah, let's do it." And then that's where it started.
Amazing. Ash, Tomas, can you tell us about the music? What is the story? What is the story about? It's competing drag houses, is that right?
Yes, so it's 2 rival drag clubs that get into certain kinds of trouble. I don't want to really spoil anything, but in the end, they need to figure out a way to come together so that the drag community, the LGBTQ community, has a safe haven again. So yeah, we wrote the music really came first, I would say. It started with Drag is Expensive, and then that seed kind of branched off into an entire soundtrack and story. Yeah.
We kind of were winging it. We didn't know what we were doing.
We don't know.
Let's just read the music first because it's what we do best. And we framed it out from top to bottom, and then we filled in the rest with the book and the script, and we, just gave it a shot, I guess. But then we started with the music, though.
Well, and that's, I guess, where all good musicals start. And then you've come around and you get this guy right here, Spencer, who you've seen him, I don't know, a dozen Broadway shows. You've choreographed every television show in the world. And so you think you can dance for, I don't know, a decade plus. Can you tell us a little bit about when they came to you with this project? Why'd you jump in and say, Drag the Musical is the show that I want to direct right now?
Well, I actually read the script about 3 years ago, and it wasn't meant for me. I was writing a different show at the time with Tomas and Ashley, and he just showed me drag to get my opinion, and I just fell in love with it when I read it. And all the shows that I've done, like when I read them, I can see what it looks like instantly in my head. I can like everything comes to life without even trying, and like these images were just flooding to me. And I out of respect, like there was another director attached who I love, and so it was not like I made a move for it. I just over the years kept falling more and more in love with it, and he kept showing me new drafts. And then as it turned out, he asked me one day if I would step into it, and it was a no-brainer. I knew that I was meant to join this team and that I wanted to tell this story.
Look, just looking at the look of it all is.
I know it's good, right?
It's so good. Come on, I need to be in LA right now and get my ticket. I needed to come to New York. Are you gonna come on? Bring it all around the country.
We're working on it.
Alaska, you've done theater, you've done the Drag Race, you have 3 albums, a book, the YouTube videos, the podcast. You're creator of a pageant. You have a vodka line. You have like. What is it that Alaska does not do? What's next?
I also have a perfume coming out, but that's a secret. Don't tell anyone.
I'll keep it between you and me.
The Alaska amusement park next.
Oh yeah,
it's coming. Well, you also released a brand new album just in your spare time as well, and then you're doing this. It's going to be October 7th and 8th, and then 14th and 15th. You can get your tickets right now. Go to the Bourbon Room and see the show. And then if you're around the country, just in your spare time, Alaska, you just decided to throw together an entire tour of like 40 dates.
Yeah.
40?
I know.
Oh,
No, it's wild. I didn't plan for the album to come out at the exact same time as we're doing this, because that's a lot of things piled on top of each other. But I guess that's just the Lord. It's just the Lord's blessing.
It is. Well, so if you're not able to catch Drag Musical, you can definitely catch Alaska on the road. So Tomas, Ash, when you were writing this together, can you tell us, we just had a whole entire episode with singer-songwriter Dar Williams about how to write a song. What is your process together when you guys sit together, when you're writing, especially for theater? Do you keep hours? Does one of you write the lyrics? Does one of you write the melody? How did you put this all together like a puzzle?
I would say usually Ashley and I have always started with music, a track. So I would just, sort of lay out the framework for a song with some chords, and then we would think about a title first. And then we would think about what is going to define the song. And then we would just jump into lyrics right then and there.
And Ash, how do you, when you're working together on this and you have a story, do you write more material? Are there songs that got cut? How many songs are in the show?
There's songs. I think we cut 7 songs that were from the album that didn't make it in the show, but now like little bits of them are starting to appear. So there's like a verse or 2 of things that were cut, but then there's new songs. We were having trouble figuring out how to turn it originally from a 2-act into a 1-act, and we didn't really want like an intermission break in there, but we needed a brand new song to wrap up a lot of things. And this team is incredible. We're like, okay, this is what it needs to do and say, and they just turned around and delivered what now is, I think, one of the best songs in the show, and is a lot of people's favorite songs in the show that is not on the album. So, what's exciting is that if you're not in LA, you can listen to Drag the Musical. You can find it streaming everywhere. It's an incredible album. We dropped it. It went to number 8 on the charts with no promotion, nothing. Like it was amazing what happened. But now when we make it to Broadway, we will do another cast recording, sort of with all the new material on it. And the first album will just be like the concept album.
Well, I can't beat that. Spencer, when you got this project and you start to bring this as a director and as a choreographer, how do you merge the musical? I mean, I guess they're both fun and campy, but how do you merge the culture and the world that is drag with the performance of musical theater, and you bring them both together? How do you approach it so that when people go, if they're theater fans, they get their musical theater and their love of Broadway, but if you're drag and you want to see all of the fun and the outfits and the camp of it all, how did you approach putting them all together plus dancing with this all-star cast?
Honestly, it's seamless because like the authenticity of the drag world was there from Alaska, and you know we've relied on her expertise to make sure that we're sort of educating the audience a little bit about what the world is like. And you know, obviously there's so much cultural references that people know from Drag Race and things that have made it into our show in one way or another, but the show is a musical on page. It's already a beautiful story. It moves like a musical should. And you know, I love transitions and keeping things moving really tight and quickly, and this whole show just moves. I say it's like a freight train. You get on at the beginning of it and it just whisks you away into this fantasy world. But the show is kind of broken up in two parts with me. There's the numbers that happen on stage in the drag clubs, and then there's the musical theater numbers that sort of function within the fantasy minds of the drag queens, or that are the narrative numbers. So that's how I separated, like, you know, what feels like one thing and what feels like another, and making sure that those worlds are separate.
That makes total sense. So you get a little bit of both. Look, Alaska, in full disclosure, we're doing this interview on my lunch break in a 5th grade classroom in New Jersey. Alaska Thunderfuck, right in the 5th grade in North Bergen, New Jersey. Here we are. But in all seriousness, I may ask you this question. I've had a lot of students through the years as an out queer teacher. I get a lot of questions about sexuality and about coming out and representation. Your work and your show and your performance art and the work that you do, this representation, can you speak a little bit about how important it is for the community out in WeHo and in Hollywood and across the country to be able to listen to music and have art that represents their life?
Well, I mean, when I first started drag, I didn't do it, you know, to be an activist and, you know, to make a difference. I did it because it was fun and cool. And you were allowed to drink while doing it, so that was great too. But no, now, I mean, now drag is in people's face way more, and like people know what it is. And so I think it's really inspiring because I had a lot of shame and a lot of trauma as a young person, just for like, I don't know, I wanted to play with Barbies, and I like literally that was like the worst thing. There was so much shame around it. And so like now to think that we can reach young people and be like, no, like express yourself. If that's your vibe, like go toward that. And so that's pretty awesome.
And it's really awesome. So how, Ash and Tomas, how did you two get together and become like the go-to people for all of, firstly, drag is famous for lip syncing, no shade to lip syncing. There's, like Alaska, there are queens that sing their face off. They're singing. So how did you two enter the world of creating music for these iconic queens?
It's kind of crazy. We've been writing with drag queens for 11 years now. And I came in as a big time fan of RuPaul's Drag Race, like season 1, I was there. And Tomas called me up one day. We had been working together for a while already. And he's like, hey, have you ever heard of Sharon Needles? And I was like house sitting at the time, and I nearly fell off my chair. I'm like, Sharon Needles, are you kidding me? Flew out to LA. I was living in New York at the time. And we spent a month and a half writing like the coolest album that like, it's not, and we were talking about things that aren't really done in pop music, and Sharon really says whatever she wants. And then I was like, oh wait, drag queens just say whatever they want. And lo and behold, from that, we ended up working with many, many other queens. Some you've seen on RuPaul's Drag Race and some others as well. And yeah, it's been an amazing, incredible journey.
A dozen #1 songs and albums that they've created together. Crazy, insane. And Spencer, when you were putting together this production of Drag the Musical, which is at the Bourbon Room, you can see it through the next few weekends in Hollywood, California. What can you tell us a little bit about the casting? You put together a really great lineup of performers from all worlds of pop music, you know, from Joey McIntyre and the NKOTB days, all the way to Nick Adams, to Broadway, to the drag stars. How did you put together this amazing cast of characters?
It is a great mix because we have like these iconic drag performers who come from that drag world, and then we have multiple cast members who have been in over 10 Broadway shows each. Nick Adams and I were on Broadway together when we were like in our 20 years old, and I've known him forever. And actually Tomas had asked me who should play this role in the album before I was even attached to direct, and I told him Nick, and Nick of course knocked it out of the park and has always stayed with the project. But we have we have the guy playing Drunk Jerry in this production did it on the album as well. He's been in 10 Broadway shows. We have another cast member, Jay Elaine, who's been in 10 Broadway shows. And then the whole band is like from the rock world. We have Broadway veterans and drag queens, and everyone is coming together to make one musical. But it's been a fun, interesting rehearsal process because everyone rehearses in a different way and comes from a different place. And it has been sort of the task of getting us all to work, to work in the same room and work in the same way, and still honor each other's worlds.
Absolutely. Well, Spencer, I have to give you credit because Spencer did falsettos, and I was cast in a regional production of falsettos and dropped. That's the hardest damn show to do in the world. So this guy knows what he's doing.
All my stuff on Broadway has been queer based. Like I did Spring Awakening, I choreographed Hedwig and Angry Inch, I did falsettos, and then Head Over Heels, which is like the gayest show that's ever been on Broadway. So this is like in my, this is in my lineage of shows that I want to do. It's like queer, queer stories are need as much representation on Broadway and other mainstream platforms as possible.
I agreed, and it's the creativity and the hard work that you guys do, putting this on, promoting it yourself, producing it yourself. I'm sure you all have spent a lot of time, money, and your own resources to get off the ground, because it's so important for other voices and different ideas to be. No shade to theater, but everything that doesn't need to be a movie adaptation for Broadway. And, from the 1980s, original work with original voices is so vital and important to the art form. Exactly. So Alaska, when we see you in the show or we see you on tour, can you tell us a little bit about how do you build your shows? Are they built from the set list first? Is it a look first? Is there a theme? When you're about to be in a creative space, what do you look for to put this all together?
Well, this musical is really fun because we wrote this really just nasty character who's just like, she's like Joan Crawford, but also like Frankenfurter, and she's really fun to play. So like with her, it was like her language is very florid and like she's almost like Shakespearean and like very flouncy in the words she chooses. And so that was like so fun writing that character. And so I wanted her to not be Alaska. I was like, she has to have totally different hair. She has fucking, am I allowed to swear? Sorry.
Say whatever.
You're in a 5th grade classroom. Sorry.
All the kids are so mine.
They've taught me everything I know. Don't worry. They say much worse.
She has like black hair that's totally different from like the eye and the everything and the shapes so that's really fun that's why I love theater, because you get to like be somebody else. And then when I'm on tour, I'm like, I don't know, I want it to be in outer space. There, let's go.
Let's go. That's it. I love that you guys picked the Bourbon Room because it's such a moody, fun space. Can you tell us, tickets are on sale. You can get VIP tickets. You can have a drink. You could have a moment. You can have a great seat, or you can get general admission seat. There's no bad seats at the Bourbon Room. Go and see the show. It's just a cool vibe. What a funky space that it's going to be. What has it been, Tomas and Ash, when you've been we'll ask Tomas first. Tomas, when you've seen the show, when you've been there, I'm sure the crowd goes bananas. What's the energy like once that show starts and you're inside the Bourbon Room and it's time for the show?
I mean, I'm the musical director on the show as well, so it's honestly a little hard for me to see the reaction sometimes because I'm so concerned about my cues. Like I got to make sure the band's on, and sometimes I can't even watch the show because I'm so preoccupied with because I actually have to memorize my cues, because at the Bourbon Room there's nowhere to put any computer or any tablet. I have a little place to put my iPhone, so I'm a little preoccupied. But it feels amazing. I mean, I was in a band and I toured the world for about 10 years, and it feels the same. It feels like a rock show. And that's what I love most about drag, is that it's combining drag with punk and rock And it almost reminds me of the days, you know, because I grew up listening to like Kiss and the New York Dolls and Motley Crue. It's essentially the same shit. It's so for me, I feel right at home, and I'm just ecstatic with the whole process and playing it, and I couldn't have asked for anything more. But the energy is it's high up there, man.
I get to look from across the room and I catch these moments where he's genuinely like, he's smiling so much, and I can see the pride, and like everyone here has worked so hard, but I'll say like Tomas has pushed this thing along and like he's put so much into it. You talk so much of his own money and time and, you know, an effort. And so when I get to see the crowd go wild and he just is grinning from ear to ear, it makes me so happy to like, it's a beautiful moment. And I think he'll probably want to play this show forever.
Yeah.
Another thing is too, is that, you know, Ashley and I are, you know, we're some of the top like sync licensing writers in the world. And we've been doing it for like a decade. And I was telling my wife the other day that being a part of this production makes me want to do this for the rest of my life. Like I just want to do theater pretty much for the rest of my life now. It's the sense of community and seeing all your friends in the morning. It just makes me feel I haven't been this happy in a long time. And I think it's just because I found something that I truly connect with. And it's self-discovery, and it's almost the same tone that we have with little Brendan. You know, his self-discovery is a little bit different, obviously, but essentially I look at this musical as self-discovery as a whole for anyone. And for me, my self-discovery with this was my enjoyment of theater. So I'm pretty psyched about that.
And fine, Spencer, you're straight. That's fine. But whatever, we'll keep you. We'll let you be in the show. But what I want to say is that's what's great when you're in a theater piece where everyone really gets along. It's like that high school. We're going to meet at the IHOP after the show on a Friday night in the high school play. Like when you're close, when you have a cast and a creative crew that works well together, it's a magical experience. So.
We're close. There's like no backstage room. Everyone's real close.
We've definitely become a family through this whole process.
Well, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what the future holds for the show. It's at the Bourbon Room in Hollywood. It's on the 7th and 8th, and also the 14th and 15th of October. You can go to feverup.com and you can get your tickets to make sure you're there. If you want to see Alaska, if you're around the country and you want to see Alaska on tour, go to alaskathunderfuck.com. The albums are streaming now. You can stream the albums. You can get the tickets. You can go be a part of it, and we can follow them all on social media so you see what's up next for all of them. I'm so excited. A, I have to see the show. B, I can't wait to see what all of you are going to do. You all are so Ashley, Tomas, every commercial, every TV show, all the movies, they're licensing all of those. Spencer is doing every television show that someone's dancing. He's there behind the scenes. And then Alaska's going to put out perfume and vodka and more music. And who knows what's next? Who knows? Oh, you all need to take a nap. That's what I think after listening to all of that.
Let's get through this weekend.
Yes.
We'll get through this weekend and we'll take a nap.
Deal. Everybody, make sure you check out Drag the Musical. It's playing right now at the Bourbon Room. And thank you all so much for being here. It means so much to meet you all. You all are so amazing at what you do. So much love and thanks. There you have it. That's the cast of Drag the Musical, the creators behind Drag the Musical. Yes, other shows had Joey McIntyre. Yes, other shows had Nick Adams. We have Alaska. We have the creative team. And Abby is obsessed with Ashley Gordon because Abby is like our resident drag expert. And Ashley has written so many songs for so many artists. So we're going to have to find Ashley, Abby. You're going to have to be friends with her. I'm going to hook it up. It gives me joy. Joy. All right. Speaking of drag, we've got the beat. Now that's my era. The Go-Go's are my era. Are they your era too? Well, Jackie Beat is a legendary queen who's been around for a really long time, and it's her first TV show, and she wants to know why now. Why has she had to wait so long? Dr. Jackie is out. Take a listen. Take a look. Look. I've never put this much effort into my appearance ever. She's stunning. Take a peek. Decades, and she has her new show. Her new show is All right, I'm so excited about our next guest. Jackie Beat is here. She has been a part of this community for, I don't know, decades. And she has her new show. Her new show is out. You have to see it. It's 6 parts. It's on Out TV. It's Dr. Jackie, unlicensed psychotherapist. And let me tell you, if there was ever a show I wish I could be on, Jackie, do you take my insurance? Jackie Beat is here. And I can't wait to talk and wait to see the way that she looks. Stunning. You are stunning.
I'm a little embarrassed. I didn't even wear any makeup.
And I have 3 coats on.
Off the bat, I am having eyelash drama, and I didn't wear nails because I thought I just won't put my hands in the frame. Listen, let me tell you something. Drag is like just one landmine after the other, and it's a little early for this look, but And you were asking whether I take your insurance. Honey, I'll take a meatball sub.
Well, thank you so much for being here. Your career is legendary in LA, New York, across this country. If we're fans of drag, we know Jackie Beat.
Oh, well, thank you.
Well, can you tell us a little bit, firstly, where the hell magical place did you come up with this amazing idea for this show?
Well, I just was thinking, first of all, how could I involve so many of my amazingly, supremely talented friends, famous and otherwise? You know, we have Margaret Cho, Elvira, Alaska, Bianca, you know, Bob the Drag Queen, Trixie, like literally just the creme de la creme. And then I have this circle of friends who are just as talented and fabulous, if not more so in some cases, dare I say it, but they're not, you know, world famous quite yet. What is going on with this?
It's beautiful.
Okay, and I can't figure out which way. You know, when you're looking at your, okay, hi. So anyway, that's how I came up with this idea. There we go. I hate everything.
You look beautiful. Well, the show.
And then I was thinking, like, how do we, oh, good, yes. How do we make it as sort of unhelpful? Well, you know what I mean? Like, I need something like, how are we going to be funny? And I was like, well, claim to be a therapist and then make everything about yourself and give the worst advice ever.
I think I've seen a therapist like that.
I'm out there.
Well, you have a great co-host with you. You have Sherry Vine, who's on the show with co-star with you. You have an amazing list, and people can watch it on television. They can get the app. They could stream it. The first 2 episodes, the second episode, I think, comes out this week. Today. So,
I don't know when. Are we really live?
No, we're going to. It will be out already.
Is it bad that I asked that? Am I?
No, this is real, Jackie. We're real. We're real.
And everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Yeah. I believe that the. Listen, I have to tell you, I am like a chimp right now who is looking into a mirror for the very first time. I don't mean to insinuate that I have monkeypox. All I mean is I cannot stop staring at myself and figuring out which way to turn, which way to look, where do I do this, beep, bop, boop. You think I was brand new and hadn't done drag for 30 years.
Oh, perfect. We could even do this. Is this better? Look, you get the full look.
Hi, everybody.
Yeah.
Simple day look.
Well, can we talk a little bit? Can we go down a little bit of memory lane to talk about some of the things that you've done? Firstly,
a little bit. We can talk a lot of it.
All right, let's talk then, because a lot of drag queens are famous for lip syncing, but Jackie, you sing. Like you sing.
I certainly do. Well, listen, I have to tell you, some of the most amazing performances I've ever seen in my life have been lip synced. Back in the day, Lady Bunny. Do you know that song Popcorn?
Yes.
It's an instrumental. It was one of the very first like synthesizer songs, and it goes do 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 do. Anyway, kids, Google it. Lady Bunny used to come out and lip sync that. There are no words. She would just go boop 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 do do. Anyway, and I mean, I know and love lip synca. The late Sweetie used to just turn it out. And here's my thing about lip syncing. First of all, pick a song that maybe not everyone has heard. Don't pick the #1 song, most popular. The DJ's already played it twice. Like, I want to see a live version of, you know, some old school fabulous singer. And, you know, so that's what Sweetie used to do, a live version. So you heard every breath. And I mean, she had it down. You would think she was singing it. That's the whole point. Now the whole point is to just, you know, barely know the words, move your lips, go out into the crowd and grab as many tips as possible. But, you know, I joke that every time I'm watching Drag Race and I see RuPaul say, the time has come for you to lip sync for your life, I out loud say, I'd rather die, bitch. Because I just love singing. And, you know, not everybody can sing, but not everyone's funny. Not everyone can put a sentence together. And if you can't do any of that, maybe you shouldn't be a fucking drag queen. Am I allowed to say the F word?
Or you can say what you
Fuck.
want. Lisa Lampanelli was here yesterday and she said the C word. So you can say anything you want.
She said cooperation?
She sure did. Isn't that a...
That's the most disturbing word in the world to a self-centered bitch like myself. Anyway.
Well, you're singing, you're in a band. I don't know how you have time. Jackie, what do you not sleep? Do you
I have been I've been cloned.
Perfect.
More than
Then
one.
I feel better.
There's more than one of me. That's why the weight fluctuates. Oh my God, speaking of weight,
Look at Dirty Sanchez, your rock band.
middle of my body.
No.
It was a waist. I used to have a waist.
you rock band, you do stand-up comedy, you do the singing, you do the cabaret scene. It's a legendary residency you do every year when you're in LA for holidays. How do you find your material? Are you always and you do the song parodies? I mean, you're famous for your song parodies of many songs. Does the material just come to you? Do you have hours that you sit and write?
I have to be honest with you, and this is going to sound, you know, if I have an idea, I can sit down and write a song parody in 30 minutes. And I just think it comes from, I've written for Joan Rivers, and, you know, you look at a picture. This was back in the Fashion Police days. You look at a picture, you know that the joke can't really be about what they're wearing because we've made every shower, curtain, you know, bedspread, you know, joke in the world. What is the, upholstery. Like, you would be fired in 30 seconds. That was Fashion Police 101. So you're looking at this picture and you have to really think of a roundabout way to make a joke, you know. So I IMDb them or Google them and find out, you know, she was in a movie called this and this looks like blah, blah, blah. So my point is that was like boot camp for comedy. Like, you got to get in. Nothing is precious. Just throw out an idea. If somebody doesn't like it, they'll either make a face or ignore it, move on. So my way of writing is just don't be precious. Just do it. It's work. Obviously, there's something when you get in the zone that comes from somewhere that you know, whether it's God or the universe or, you know, just creativity is flowing. And comedy is just, if it makes you laugh, then it's good. And if it doesn't, then you just make a funny face and the audience laughs twice as hard because you just told a terrible joke.
Right. It's all good. Keep it going. The train.
And after doing this for over 30 years, I have learned that if I am on stage and ready to do a show, if the fucking electricity went out, I would light a candle and talk for an hour because, honey, that money's already spent.
You're not getting
done. So you just have to have faith in what you do, and you're either a naturally entertaining person or you're not, and, you know, really can't teach it.
No, I understand. You got it, and you've got it. Can you tell us a little bit about the run that you've had? And I know you do on and off about being this icon right here. Would you tell us a little bit?
Oh, yes. That is the Golden Girls Live. And of course, we spell girls with a Z at the end so we don't get sued. So we don't get zooed. We just do 2 back-to-back episodes of the Golden Girls, and it is probably our most popular thing. It sells out, you know, instantly. And we have so much fun. I play Dorothy Zbornak, of course. She didn't talk like this, but you have to give people what they think they remember. Cherry Vine is typecast as Blanche the Slut. And then we have Drew Droege and Sam Pancake, who are comedy actors and comedians. They're not really drag queens. And they approach it almost like the Golden Girls on acid. So I always say, like, we've had people come and bring friends who've never seen the Golden Girls, and they love it, because if you need the Golden Girls, you know, to scratch that itch, you have me and Sherry doing these dead-on impersonations, and then you have Sam and Drew kind of bouncing off the walls, and the mixture is just perfect as far as I'm concerned. And we just did the episode recently where Burt Reynolds has a little cameo at the end.
Yes.
And we had a bunch of celebrities, like everyone from, like Candace Kane just put a big mustache on. She looked gorgeous, put a mustache on. She's like, hi, I'm Burt Reynolds. And all sorts of amazing people. Chris Koffler did it. And then fucking Chris Pine did it one night. Because it's a long story. We're in a movie that Chris Pine wrote. There's a scene where they go see the Golden Girls. I don't know how much I'm allowed to talk about it. I'll probably be killed at any moment live on Zoom for revealing that. So anyway, and we were just like, oh, we want you to be in the show sometime. And let me tell you something. Being in Hollywood, it reminds me of the time Roseanne Barr came to see me perform. And after the show, she was like, oh my God, you're hilarious. I want to work with you. And I was like, okay, yeah, right. The next day she called. I ended up going on tour with her, writing with her. So we just thought, you know, Chris is just being nice. We want you to be in the show. I'd love to do it. Call my assistant. Here's the number. There was never a, oh, maybe. And then literally 2 days after he did, and I know I'm rambling, I'm just
no, please.
Coffee is the responsible person's cocaine. So anyway, the thing is, there's a picture of him backstage with us, and he is beaming. Like, he is in his element. He's never had so much fun in his life, and he said he hadn't been live on stage in like 10 years. So, and then there's a picture of him 2 days later at the Cannes Film Festival, and honey, Chris Pine is sucking a lemon in that picture, not having a good time. And I was like, you can tell where he'd rather be. He would rather be backstage at some little theater with a bunch of drag queens doing the Golden Girls than at the Cannes Film Festival for, you know, Don't Worry, Darling.
Well, that's amazing. That is an amazing story. I can't even imagine what it was like in that room. Let me ask you a little bit, you know, you've been in this game for 30 years and drag has.
This ain't a game, honey. No, I'm just kidding. I'm looking for any reason to yell at you.
You can yell. It's okay. I'll take it. I'm very passive.
God, I look like a monster. I love it.
Not drag has become such a big part of pop culture recently, from television to movies, etc. You've put in a lot of years and tough work, you know, working for nothing, spending a lot of money. I've spoken to a lot of queens. What do you think about the importance of, you know, putting in your due and getting out there and doing the work instead of just trying to be on a television show? Is there truth to getting out there and performing and honing your craft?
Well, of course there is. I mean, it is a craft, and it should be based in performance. Listen, there's nothing I like more than scrolling through social media and seeing amazing makeup, but you can tell the queens who have worked in bars 4 or 5 nights a week for 10 years. You know, you learn how to deal with a heckler. You learn to trust your instincts. It's like a stand-up comedian. It's the only way to do it. That's why stand-up comedians do open mic nights. And, you know, it's the only way. You got to work that muscle. So there's these queens that look amazing. They know how to do makeup. Let me tell you something. When I started over 30 years ago, I could not just go on, you know, YouTube and watch a makeup tutorial, because YouTube didn't exist yet.
Right.
You know, the internet didn't exist yet. Electricity didn't exist yet. So I'm just saying, there is nothing like getting out in the field and doing it and learning what works and what doesn't work and what an audience reacts to and what they don't. You know, you see these queens and they look amazing on social media, but like, you know, first of all, you're 20. And being, newsflash, plot twist, you know, spoiler alert, being young is not an achievement. actually being as old as I am and still looking like this and still being
Hey,
game is an achievement. Yeah. But you know, they look amazing. It's all face tuned. It's all, you know, filters, not just a filter, a coffee filter, a used coffee filter, Robert.
Jackie.
So, great. And then they get on Drag Race and, you know, with editing and lighting and auto tune and all of that, like, and I'm not saying they don't have anything to offer, but there is potential. Like, you're not ready to be on TV. You're not ready to be. Are you telling me that this person who could be America's next drag superstar, but she's never performed? They have had contestants who have never performed. We're never going to get through this if I use long words like contestants. There have been tons. It's short for contestant. Do not be offended. There have been ones who have not even performed live on stage, and they become world famous, and then people hire them, and they move their lips to one song. That's their idea of a show. You're looking at a bitch who does 90-minute show of all live singing, 12 songs, going out into the audience and doing audience work and improv and, you know, insult comedy.
Jackie, I want to
say it.
You are the best, Jackie. I was going to say, I mean, I would hire, I can't afford you, but I mean, if I had to hire someone for jokes, I mean, I'm calling you. You're fast. You are so quick.
Thank you.
You
But
are
enough about my sex life.
I was
You notice this?
You said it before I did.
Have you seen this? Look.
Yes.
The wig head.
I saw I was either the wig head or you were doing a self-tape for Dahmer. I was not sure. But
oh my God, I just finished watching it.
Me too. Look,
I just can't believe I left a wig head in the. I mean, now everyone knows I'm wearing a wig. This is.
And I was going to keep your secret. Okay, what? Before I let you go, Dr. Jackie, unlicensed psychotherapist on Out TV. Can you tell us what? Are you a proponent of real therapy? Are you someone who has gone? We talked a lot about it on this show with other people. Or
I have to say, first of all, the thing I was most worried about was people thinking, you know, oh, how dare you mock therapy? And, you know, because it's a very, you know, touchy world. To which I always say, we need to joke about the serious stuff. First of all, everyone's crazy. Everyone needs help. Everyone can, you know, benefit from talking to somebody. I am not trying to tell somebody not to go get therapy. This is just a vehicle for me to have fun and, like, you know, yeah. So, I mean, if you watch a show, if you watch, you know, some medical drama, you're not making fun of the fact that somebody was in a car accident.
No, it's fun. This is so much fun.
So your question was, am I a proponent of therapy?
Do you go? Are you like a yes?
I don't go. Years ago, I was in a relationship and my boyfriend went to therapy, you know, in one part of town, and I would go have my session. And I was like, oh my God, my boyfriend's across town right now telling the same exact story, but from his point of view. We probably should have been in couples therapy. Anyway, you know what? I'll be honest with you. I can't think of anything that I really need that much help with. And to go back to something you said earlier, I'm just too busy.
Yeah.
If something was bothering me enough, I would be like, girl, this is a really bad pattern.
Well, let me put it to you this way. If I needed a therapist, an unlicensed one, I can't think of someone who is more adequate and qualified than you, Jackie.
Thank you.
And apparently so does Alaska Margaret Cho, Bianca, Monet Exchange, Trixie, Elvira. You have Elvira on the show?
I know. Can you believe it? She's on the episode that drops today.
Everyone.
Today's episode is, are you ready for this?
Yes.
Alaska Thunderfuck, Elvira, Drew Droege and Sam Pancake play these new age, you know, like healers that come in because they're all stressed out and they're really just trying to get on a TV show. And Roz Hernandez plays this woman who's in the office next to mine, and Sherry Vine plays my assistant. It's really fun. Let me tell you something. I'm most proud of the fact that there's something for everyone, because the moment it starts, it's like a sitcom moment between me and Sherry. And then I have my first session. Then we have an emergency phone session for somebody who couldn't make it into the office. Then we have an another little sitcom moment. And then we have an afternoon, like it's so much packed into each episode.
I love it. Well, everybody, listen, go to Out TV. Make sure you get it. If you download it, find it, get the app, get it on your television right now. And for more information about this superstar, go to MissJackieBeat.com. Make sure you see her whenever she's performing anywhere around this country. And anything that she's doing, she's going to bring 100%. Look at her. She brought 100% to my basement in Jersey.
Can I mention one other thing?
Please.
I don't know if people are familiar with this or, I'm sure that they've heard of it because it's been all over social media, but we did the Hulaween drag extravaganza, and that is with Ginger Minge, Monet Exchange, Mo Hart, Manila Luzon, Landon Cider, I'm forgetting people, Jujubee, like everyone's in it, myself and Lady Bunny. We do a duet as ancient mummies in drag. So anyway, that starts streaming on October 1st on Hulu, and I not just star in it, I helped write it.
Well, we're going to put that link right underneath here, and we're going to tell everyone to make sure you get that on Hulu. Working.
I'm shimmying because I want you guys to know I'm not a robot. And shimmying is the way you find out. If you think someone might be a robot, put on a B-52 song and ask them to shimmy. And if they can't shimmy, that means they're a robot, because it turns out shimmying is an exclusively human movement. They have not been able to program it into a robot yet. I'm losing my mind.
I'm going to go put on Rock Lobster.
Robert, I think the makeup is toxic.
I'm going to put on Rock Lobster and shimmy myself through this day.
What if all of a sudden you can't and you're like, oh my God, I'm a robot? Like that moment in the movies like AI or Blade Runner when it's like, I'm not real.
I'll report back. But in the meantime, make sure you watch Dr. Jackie, Unlicensed Psychotherapist. Jackie, it's an honor and a pleasure to talk to you. I adore you. You're the best.
Thank you so much, everyone. I look gorgeous.
You sure do. Thank you. What a trip. What do you even say to all of that? I'm in love. I'm in love. I love her. She's a superstar. Let's check out some comments. Yeah, Janelle, me too. Dead. I did this interview and I'm dead. This is the funniest thing ever. My friend Mona. Hey, Mona. How you doing, Louisiana? So nice to meet you. Gonna check it out. Thanks, Robert, for the love and having Jackie on. Anytime. I appreciate it so much. So good, so good, so good. And Golden Lasky says that Jackie invented drag. I gotta put together like a clip of that and put it out there because that's funny. She's so fast and so funny. So yeah, Alaska, Jackie, and next week we're butching it up. Next week, we're going to butch up the show. Next week, Barry Bostwick is here. You've seen him in Rocky Horror Picture Show, and you've seen him in Spin City, and he's won a Tony, and he's going to be here live eating a hot dog. I don't know why. And also, Sean Kanan from Karate Kid, Cobra Kai, Soap Legend, Emmy winner. Sean Kanan and Barry Bostwick are here next Thursday. Every single week, listen, people that are just joining us. She would do it for a meatball sub. I'm going to take that line. Thank you, Christine. It's fun. It was a fun show. A lot of laughter and fun. Listen, we're here every single Thursday. Every Thursday we're here. We come out. We do the show. There's a Roundtable Talk extra every single week. And there's really fun shows coming up. So I hope you can mark it down. Tell a friend. Tell your neighbor. Tell your grandmother. Tell your cousin. Tell your dog. Tell your cat. Tell your etc. We have guests, as Latte said, a guest explosion all month of October. So come join me next week. To everybody watching tonight, I so appreciate you. Remember, it was a rough week, everybody. So the best is yet to come. It's going to get better and better. And until I see you all again next Thursday, take care of yourself, love one another, and I will see you all real soon. God bless you. Thanks for being here.